What's going on, YouTube world? This is your boy P Way, and welcome back to another episode of Inside P Town, your one-stop shop for everything Carolina Panthers. And listen, yesterday they won a free agency. Dan Morgan was in his bag. Our GM was cooking, and we did something that I didn't know exactly how this was going to play off, but we did a great job yesterday. And I'm going to explain why. He said that I'm going to build this defensive line just like I did the O line last year with Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt. When he went and they spent that money and we got that offensive line intact. Well, he doubled down on that this year, and now the defensive line has already completely transformed. So let's kind of walk back and go through the steps here. Now we're going to start with number one. They went and they got Austin Corbett back, right? So this was the big move. Let's not reinvent the wheel. We know what works. Let's get AC back in the building. And then also, let's make sure Cade Mays stays as well. Just in case with AC's injury history, Cade Mays came in and he produced and played very, very well. So they went ahead and did what needed to be done. And I like this. Keeping production simple. Keeping production, keeping that center room challenging, and that's what we need. We need players who are going to challenge each other and push. When one person's hurt and somebody else comes in, we do not need lack of production. That's called having a challenging roster, and that's what they're trying to build in the culture of the Carolina Panthers. Those players who are not producing, it's time to get them out of there. Then we went and we made sure that we brought back Tommy Tremble. We got his extension figured out in his contract. So once again, Tommy Tremble was producing, and we got rid of Ian Thomas. No more. We're not doing that no more. If you're not challenging each other and challenging this roster, you're not on the squad. So I love that we kept Tommy Tremble and kept him with Jatavion Sanders in that tight end room. Then if that wasn't enough, I mean, my boy broke the bank with that 4-year, $100 million deal, making him the richest corner in the NFL right now, resetting that market. And I love that we did that right now. JC Horn is in his prime as we speak and should be able to produce at a high level for the next couple of years. He showed last year, his first season, being completely healthy, what he can do. I mean, completely had monster games and really stopped number one receivers with no defensive line. I mean, that is almost unheard of in the NFL. It's hard to cover people at that level for that long when the opposing quarterback has all day to deliver the ball. So, JC Horn, shout out to him. He definitely deserved this contract. And it's good that we secured this up because we have more money going on in the future. That's why you see these long-term deals. There's more money as stuff gets freed up after this year. So it's very, very good that we were able to extend him and keep him in Carolina. And then it just kept getting sweeter. And then my man Bobby Brown III from the Rams. We got a deal, and this was the type of player I spoke on previous videos for those following the channel. We needed a nose tackle and a run stuff. So I like that in free agency, Dan Morgan, and it seems like Dave Canales and the team, they really thought about player fits and what they do best. And that's what Bobby Brown does. Forces double teams. And when you get him, Bobby Brown, and next to Derek Brown, and he already tweeted, it's called Meet the Browns. When we have Meet the Browns, that's exactly what the opposing running backs are going to do. They're going to be meeting the Browns, and we're going to be stopping this run this year. So Very, very good move on getting this nose tackle in Bobby Brown, who's going to be primarily on the run. And then I love this because as he's on first and second down, stopping the run, as soon as it gets to third downs and probably sometimes on second down, then we're going to get Tershawn Wharton out of the Kansas City Chiefs, who had 8 sacks last year. 8 sacks last year, very quick moves as a defensive tackle, and has a very good passing rushing bag, and can actually move, up and down that defensive line. So as Bobby Brown does his works on first and second downs, then in comes Tershawn Wharton to come in and on our pass rushing downs and get some sacks. So I love what we're doing here. We're bringing in a compilation of players who can complement each other. And then when one person's good in the run, then we can sub in and put in some people who are productive in the pass. Therefore, we're never slipping off in what we do. And I love the build of this roster and the ability to do that. And this is going to help Evero a lot in his defensive scheme. Then doubling down, we went and got Patrick Jones the second out of the Minnesota Vikings. Another guy. He has 7 sacks last year. I'm high motor. I like his pass rushing game. He also did okay in the run as well. So this is a guy who can set the edge. Looks a little bit more fluid. So this is a guy I can see replacing DJ Johnson. He has more elements and he can do more, in that defensive line field. So I think he will replace DJ Johnson. But once again, another productive player. And if you're going down our defensive line right now with Clowney, Tashawn Wharton, Patrick Jones, Bobby Brown, Derek Brown, DJ Wanham, it's just a lot of people who can produce at a very, very, very solid level. So I like that we have brought in just this variety of players down that D line. I still want another edge. We'll get to that later. I still want another edge in the draft. But just when we thought, okay, this can't get better, we were cooking. We got 3 defensive linemen that can improve this defense and really help us out. We go to the Raiders and we get their safety, Travion Mooring. Travion Mooring is an absolute monster. He's in his prime as well, young, physical, very good in run defense, something that we needed so bad. With our poor tackling last year, this is what he does very well, to fill in that gaps, to make the tackles, and has a decent passing grade according to PFF as well. So we have now addressed that safety room. He was, I think, the number 2 safety on the board in free agency, and we were able to land him in Carolina. Now, these are a lot of expensive contracts. I think some of them are a little overvalued, but hey, we're the Carolina Panthers, man. We had to pay a lot just to get the competition to come to Carolina, which is okay if it plays out. It played out with Damian Lewis. It's playing out with Robert Hunt last year going to the Pro Bowl. So hopefully these all play out as well. And I'm just in love with this move of adding Travion to our team. Mooring, he does a lot, very flexible. Like I said, a safety that can cover and tackle. That's all you ask. He can do those 2 things. So I'm so glad that we add him to the team. And then lastly, we re-signed Mike Jack. We just kept working, man. We let him test the market. We locked up JC. Now we get Mike Jack, who had a very good year last year. Like I said, our corners, I felt so bad for them. For them having to cover these type of receivers for so long last year, you can obviously see that what they were able to do was just incredible. I'm just surprised that they didn't give up, 100 points a game. I mean, they really produced. So I do look on us getting a nickel corner in the draft. We still need to address that nickel corner position. But at the end of the day, the Carolina Panthers absolutely cook. So we have to give Dan Morgan his props, because he did exactly what he said he was going to do. And I love when the GM takes accountability and does better. Last year, he said, we're keeping Evero around. And we were like, get rid of Evero. I'm tired of this defense. He said, listen, I did not build this roster. He took accountability. And we were like, okay, well, are you going to do something about it? It's good just to say stuff. We need to see results. And then what did he do day one in free agency? He went and started making moves. We saw that we had Milton Williams at one point. Then the offer got taken back, and then he ended up going to the Patriots. And he said, okay, Then we're gonna go with plan B, which is build this defense with a compilation of players who can really, compete and make this roster competitive. And don't forget, we still got Clowney, Wanham, and Ashawn Robinson too. So this is a big, big defensive line now, man. And I'm loving that Dan Morgan is cooking. And look at what we got. So this draft, oh my gosh. If we it's best player available in certain positions, an edge, we still need another corner. And now we can look at getting Bryce Young some young targets as well now, more than ever. So man, I'm just in love with these moves. We got a lot to be excited about. So man, under this chat in the comment section, Panther Nation, go ahead, man. Just type in there, keep pounding, because that's exactly what we did. So this is your boy P-Way, and I will see you guys at a later date. One love, like always. Peace.